I walk down the brick-lined streets here of my hometown again, there's another outing of the LugNutz Car Show that I'm going down here to see. And while I'm at it, we're going to talk about another story that happened around here when I was in high school in the 1970s. So stick around and let's see some very cool looking cars. Approximately 35, maybe 37 of the coolest looking vehicles showed up today down on McDonald Parkway near the Ohio River in Maysville, Kentucky. My black powder friends will definitely enjoy seeing the shifter on this rather unusual looking vehicle. I picture James Bond sitting in this vehicle. Yeah. Thanks for sticking with me. We'll take a break from the car show for a moment to give you an idea of some other fun stuff that we used to do in the small town America 40-some years ago. Occasionally we'd stop at the Russell Theater to check out what the movies were on at the time. One of the movies I remember was the movie Grease when it first came out. Had John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John in it. And I took my high school girlfriend then to see the Grease movie. And the theater was packed because, like I said, there's not much else to do around here. We enjoyed it so well that about a week or week and a half later we went to see it again. Because this one theater operation may run the movie Grease for 4 weeks or 5 weeks, probably to get their money back from the lease rates or whatever. We could check out the movies from there, and that was pretty good. Let's get back to the car show. Yeah. Seeing this tray outside the window of this vehicle reminds me of the times we used to run around in Aberdeen, Ohio, through the Basotti's restaurant and the Frisch's restaurant. Those were good times indeed. It's called Maysville IGA store now. In 1968 or 1969, a fellow by the name of Clyde Barber opened this store up and called it Clyde Super Value. He was an entrepreneur in the Maysville area that had 5 stores in the region. And he was known for hiring a lot of high school help to help bag groceries, sort pop bottles, stock shelves, and so forth. Well, I met one of my best friends, a black powder shooting buddy of mine named Rick at this store. So we hit it off real well and started chasing the girlfriends and doing the street racing and this kind of thing I've been talking about on these video projects. One evening we decided to go on a fishing trip at a little creek about 6 or 7 miles to the east of here near the Dravo Mine Corporation. And another fellow went with us that worked there. We all got off work at 10 o'clock one evening and headed that direction to go fishing. Now let's talk about what happened before we even got the fishing lines wet that evening. This is the road that we took to get out of town, heading toward the fishing spot. We're in 2 different cars. Rick and I were in this car, and the other fellow was in a 1964 Chevy 2 car ahead of us. And you know what happens when you get 2 boys together in separate cars driving at these little crooked roads in eastern Kentucky? We get to drive a little bit faster than we should be going. As both vehicles made around this section of the road, we both realized that upcoming for the next quarter of a mile is the straightest piece of road in this whole section for the next 4 miles. Now I'm only running 45 miles an hour right now, but we were probably following each other, I'm gonna say 75 miles an hour? I don't remember, but it was generally a lot faster than we're supposed to be driving. The co-worker of ours is going around this little S-curve right here, drove his vehicle right over that bank and into the creek bed below. As we slowed down, I told my buddy Rick, oh my, he's probably hurt. He's probably even a goner, because that's probably a 20-foot drop or 25-foot drop down into that creek bed from the road. And running 70 miles an hour, oh no. By the time we got the vehicle turned around and went back and checked on him, he was already crawling out of the left side of the window of the vehicle, because the vehicle was turned up on its right side down in the center of the creek. He said, man, are you all right? Oh my goodness, I thought he was a goner. I was really surprised he even survived at all, because nobody wore seatbelts in those days. Oh. He said, go on fishing, get out of here and go on, because when the police gets here, they'll probably figure we've been street racing or something, and we'll all be in trouble. Just get out of here and go on, go on. Well, we didn't really want to go. We wanted to kind of help him out, but then we understood where he was going at too, because all the street racing going on around this area back in the time. I'll tell him I had a little accident. The wrecker just pulled the car out of the creek, and I'll be fine. Get out of here, go on. So reluctantly, Rick and I went on up to go fishing the rest of the night. A couple of days later, we saw him back on the job again. He was fine, but the Chevy 2 that he drove into the creek was pretty much destroyed. Between that incident and the incident I talked about on the prior video, which you can see a link to it right up here, both these fellows were driving 63 or 64 or 65 Chevy 2 cars. Now they were a dime a dozen then. I mean, pretty much every car lot had them in the early 70s. They weren't but 10 or 11 years old. You can't find them with a search warrant anymore that looks like anything, unless they're in the showroom status. But in those days, they were a fairly common vehicle. We're so excited he was fine. I can't remember what we did fishing-wise, if we caught anything or not. Let's get back to the car show. Thanks for reminiscing with me from the 1970s. Had a great time at the LugNutz Car Show here in town. I look forward to doing another one because I have more stories that I get to tell. Yeah. Remember, Jesus loves you. And we'll catch you on the next local adventure.